2, 1. We're live. It's day 5 on you, and you being the very, very best version of yourself that you could possibly be, and maybe more. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me just do what I need to do behind the scenes, as I am the producer, the director of every single show that we do. And I don't know how many we've done. And I would like you to think of this as like a show. It's like a show. You've turned up for some inspiration. Like, why do people watch the news? That's a good question. Why do people watch the news? Write that down. Why do people watch the news? What is it that people want to get out of watching the news? Why do people watch sport? Yesterday I had on in the background the golf, the British Championship, the British Open. And, why do we watch it? It's fascinating to think, why do we do what we do? This is the thing that I think we've been really looking at this week. Why do we do what we do, and who could we become if we put our minds to it? So this week, let me just do a summary. I've now posted this in 2 different places. I can now turn that off and give you guys 100% full attention. Here we go. I didn't spill any coffee this morning, thank God, but I haven't really slept. Sometimes I like to do a detox, and I've been doing a detox all week, a 7-day detox, which actually ended yesterday in doing a part of the detox, which was very, very challenging for me. But that's another story. The reason I tell you this is because I want to upgrade myself. I want to upgrade my body. I want to upgrade my mind. And if you watch the news, it's what are you feeding yourself? People watch the news because they want a story. They want to know. And what is it that you want to know about yourself? And this is what we've been looking at this week, right? We've been looking at, what are you all about? We talked about this, your DNA. And I think nearly all of you, maybe every single one of you, believes that deep down inside every cell of your body, there is some programming, something that happened way before you were born, which was a part of you that was born to grow, born to be great, born to make a difference, unique gifts, unique talents that every human being has. I believe every human being, they genuinely have that. Whether they do anything with it, it's really up to them. And what we need to do is we need to go on a journey together. And I know many of you you're on a journey anyway with me, but how many, and with many other My365ers, how many of you would like to take that to a whole new level? That we really, really work together to supercharge the success that you're going to have. You see, the reason why so many people in life, there's a gap, right? A gap between where you are and where you want to be. How many of you are exactly where you want to be in your life today? You're completely happy, completely blissful. You have everything you want. You don't need money. You don't need relationships. You don't need anything. You've got everything that you need. If you are, that's amazing. Tell us how you did it. But for the rest of us mere mortals, we are trying to fill this gap in. And if we don't really work on filling that gap in, and most people don't, or they're chasing things which they think are going to make them happy, that's where fear, worry, anxiety, depression, sadness sits. Where you find someone who is really living their life's purpose, they're really in touch with the essence, the core of who they are. And that's what we've done this week. We've looked at beliefs, but the first thing we looked at is, do you want an upgrade? Has your phone and your tablet or your computer, has it ever something flashed up at you and said there's a new version of this software that you can just download? Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has, and maybe you ignored it, put it off in the background, but some of you went, yeah, amazingly. Why did you want to do that? In most cases, software updates are done to make the machine work better, to get rid of bugs, just to make it work better. And that's what we can do with ourselves. But the challenge with all of this is it's manual programming. Remember, like, I don't know, years ago, you put things in a file and you kind of put things there and you put things there, and you put things in order, and you got to really do one thing at a time. And then we invented machines that could do one thing at a time. And then we invented computers. What we've invented, what can you invent? Could you invent a newer, fresher version of yourself, better than ever, where you live your life's purpose? So what is your life's purpose? Let's share that right now, everyone. What do you feel you were put on this earth to do? If you say, I don't know, that's fine. If you do know, write it down, because if you know, it's called following your bliss. And next week, I ask all of you to come on a journey with me. I look at all of you as heroes. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be here, but you're here. You're here, but you are here. You are here, which tells me that you are a hero. To help people, to release the greatness in others using word, to help others. Cheryl's purpose is mourning. No, I'm only joking. The more specific you can be about what you're on this earth to do, and this is one of the things I asked you guys to look back. I said, look, let's look back. Here you are today, right? This is where you were as a small little child. What were your unique talents then? What is it that you love to do? What was important to you in your life? Most people, when they think about it, for me, it was playing, it was acting, it was having fun, it was being creative in my own little world. But what's happened to most of us is we just grew up. And as we've grown up, most of us have followed someone else's dream. We followed someone else's path. We did what we thought was best. We did what we thought was best for other people, rather than deciding, hey, this is my life. So look, does that make sense? You can put an upgrade on your phone and it does it all for you, right? And then the most annoying thing is when it takes time, but it doesn't take very long. With us upgrading ourselves, it takes manually. You have to do it every single day until it's installed in your hardware. So when you look at anyone who's achieved anything, and so many of you, let's just quickly share some of the stuff that you've achieved since you've been a My365er. Let's share that right now. Come on. If I was I'd become a better coach, I believe a better person. I love what I do more. I've built a big community of people all around the world. I've achieved so much since I've been doing this. I love coaching more than ever. What about you? What have you achieved since you've been following this? So Mark's got some inner peace. What else? What else has people achieved? Been consistent with working out, a kinder person to my family. You've let the past go by. Look at all of this stuff. This is really amazing. 3-stone lighter, Harley Jackson, totally different person. I'm really happy. Let's actually feature some of these. Fitter, healthier, calmer. Carmen, better smiling, stop moaning and blaming, calmness. Lost 20 pounds. Look, this is what you have done. And what's important that I really encourage every single one of you to really take a moment today. And I really want you to take a moment and own what you've achieved. Own what you've achieved. It's you. Yesterday, I spoke to our new member of the month for the following month. This month, it's Jim Lawrence, who is unbelievable guy. And now we've got our next person, and we were talking to them. Look at this, all of these things that you've achieved. It's awesome. It's amazing. And when this person was talking, it became very evident that she or he is owning their process. This is what you have done. But the next thing we have to ask ourselves is what's next? What's next? A good friend of mine is watching on Instagram now. We've been talking about this, and he says that he's on a journey to figure it out at the moment, which is great because we are all on a journey. And next week, with the whole week is called the Hero's Journey. What were you put on this earth to do? I was put on this earth to believe in myself. First and foremost, to believe in myself. That's the center of me. Then what? After that, to believe in myself, it's to give love to the world. Love the world, love people. Then it's to inspire people. The next layer. Then the next layer was to work hard. The next layer was to have fun. What about you? What about you? Guys, take some time today. Take some time today. What have you achieved? What have you achieved since you've been doing My 365? Let's get that out there. I don't know, some of you maybe have said it before, like Joe Tyler, who's lost, I don't know, over 5 stone, and Kate Carruth, who's lost over 6 stone. So many of you. Let's get that out. Let's inspire people today. Share with the world, what have you achieved since you've been doing My 365? And you know what? Why not? I dare you to post that publicly as well. Tell the world this is what you've been achieving, because it only takes one person. My big goal around all of this is to inspire 100 million people around the world. That's my goal, 100 million. And it's working. It's working. It's working all the time because of people like you, right? Tell the world, since you just keep it short and simple if you want. Since you've been following My 365, this is what you have learned, this is what you've achieved, and this is what you're going to do next. If you don't feel comfortable doing that for whatever reason, then you probably need to do it. But if you've got a really valid reason for not doing it, then fine. You know, that's fine. But I ask all of you every week, I'm your coach. Let's get coaching. Let's upgrade you. I'm upgrading all the time, upgrading. What do you think I'm doing at 4 o'clock in the morning? Upgrading, so I can share with you so you can upgrade, so you can go to a different level. So let's just recap what we've discussed this week, because it's been really important. This week has all been about upgrading your life, taking you to what we call version 3.65. Has your phone or computer ever said to you, a software update? Chances are you've done it. Why? So the whole thing can work better. We can upgrade ourselves. So here's a question for you. What do you want to upgrade? Who do you want to become? What is it that you want to do? If you don't know, then what is really important is to recognize what you need to do every single day to keep yourself in the best shape you can be, mentally, physically, whether it's exercising, doing yoga, whether it's meditating, whatever it is, eating well, whatever it is, recognizing what do I need to do for me to be the very, very best version of myself. So if you're upgrading yourself, what we need to know is it's a manual process. It's manual. You have to do it yourself. It's the rituals that you do every day. Does this make sense? Hopefully it does. And then we're talking about beliefs, because when you talk about all this, many people think, well, I don't believe I can do it. And that's what we did this week. We looked at some very negative beliefs that people have. And the most common one really is, I don't have what it takes. I'm not good enough. And that was invented, just like fear, just invented. It's not real. So to overcome the fear, we have to invent the version, we build the version of ourselves. And this is my challenge. And thank you so much. So many of you have been drawing and doing some unbelievable things and posting them on Facebook, showing your progress. But what I want you to do is every time you behave like the person that you want to be, this is what I want you to say. Ready? That's like me. When you make good choices built around the version of you, this is how to encode the future you. When you decide the version that you want to create, the updated version, some of you have heard this before, but just because you've heard it before, does that mean you've got it? Every time you behave in a way that's moving you in the direction that you want to go, say it with me. That's like me. That's like me. That's like me. I'm just looking at my notes here. And, you know, I know many of you are working on your My 365 Summit Challenge, and excited that so many of you will be achieving what you've set out to achieve. It doesn't matter what you've done, it matters what you're going to do. So once you get in contact with this core part of you, and I encourage all of you to do this, the easiest thing to do is obviously not do it. What is the heart of you, the essence of you? What's the next layer? What's the next layer? What's the next layer? And the stronger you get, the more you can beam whatever you want out into the world. You can push it out into the world. And this takes practice. So as I said for me, it's believing in me. I believe in me. Believe in me. Or as I like to say, me. And by the way, you can do this again. Believe. The next level is love. The next level is inspiration for me. I want to give inspiration. I want to give love to the world. What else? I want hard work. I want to be relentless in churning out quality, stuff like this. Just keep going, to then impact 100 million people around the world. Now, I can only do this if I'm doing this. If I'm doing this, how do I believe in me? It's what I do every single day. It's the little things that I do. Loving every single one of you that's here right now. Being inspired about doing and learning and then churning out work. This is my system for living my life. What about you? What about you? That's like me. I'm really excited. I want to know from all of you right now, today, it's time for a review. What have you learned? What have you achieved since you've been a My365er? If you've done it before, it's fine, but you haven't done it for a while. Goodbye, Instagrammers. I'm going to film a 1-minute summary on here. Goodbye. Is everyone happy to do this? Just say yes or no. Yes or no, because you're making a commitment to do it. What have you achieved? What have you learned? And what are you going to do next? So you can do that for everything that you've done since you've been following and been a part of this. Get it out there. Inspire other people. That's what the world needs. The world needs that more than anything else. You think the world is going to listen to me? The world is much more likely going to listen to you based on what you have done. And then watch everyone's, give yourself half an hour this week. Watch what other people have achieved. And if you want to post that publicly as well, and so people who know you can see what you've done, it only takes one person. You're not responsible for people. If you're worried that people will make fun of you or whatever, then maybe don't do it. But in the My365 group, you're absolutely safe. Right, here we go. Are we ready? So this has been an awesome week. This has been the week on upgrading you, living the 3.65 lifestyle. And I've said this all week. Has your phone or your computer or your tablet ever wanted to do a software update? Chances are you've done the update. Why? Because it makes the machine work better. What about us? We can update ourselves. We can do software updates. But the thing is, it has to be done manually. We have to do something every day until that is installed, until things become a habit. So I was saying to everyone this week, at the heart of you, the essence of you, what do you want your life to be about that you can beam out into the world? For me, believing in myself, then loving the world, then being inspired about what I do, then hard work, then to impact 100 million people. That's my system for living my life. What's yours? Get ready next week because we're going on the hero's journey. The hero's journey. It's going to be awesome. Take care. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate you. Sheshe, namaste. And let's just practice. That's like me. That's like me. For me, this is a week where if you could see the amount of notes that I've made for this week, you would, it's a lot from there. It's about 20 pages of notes because this is evolving. You are evolving. Looking forward to watching your films. All of you, you said you were going to do it. Do it. What have you learned? What have you achieved since you've been following My365? And what are you going to do next? Let's get this out into the world. Let's change the world one person at a time. Much love to all. See you next week. See you on Monday. All the best. That's like me.